What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Got a special client interview today with my guy, Justin. Justin's been in the program for about 2 months now, but Justin won't steal your thunder. Why don't you go ahead, introduce yourself, and we'll take it from there.
My name is Justin Jones. I'm from Fort Myers, Florida. Joined the program a little under 2 months ago, and I've made about $25,000 since joining. When I first joined, I had about 2 clients, charging about $100 a month, and then rest is history from there.
Yeah. Sweet, dude. What a way to kick it off. I appreciate you jumping on, dude. I know obviously, we talked a little bit before you joined the program, everything like that. Maybe just give me a little bit more context on, your background, your history, and things like that.
The background and history about playing or just myself?
Yeah, I guess both. Yeah.
I was a little out of high school. I wasn't a very big recruit baseball wise. Went off to play at St. Leo University, D2 guy, went pro after that. So I was always a short guy. I'm 5'10". So in professional baseball, most pitchers aren't very tall. So like my background story was being like a shorter guy that throws hard, that uses my ability to help other players figure out how to throw hard as well. So that's my niche and market, is going after the smaller guys that need to learn from someone else that's not quite like a 6'5", 6'6" guy. That's where I've been able to gravitate towards people like that. And then when it comes to the coaching side of things, I'm very, very knowledgeable about mechanics and understanding how to move better. I study almost every night, like hours and hours of mechanical side of things, and just trying to help guys throw harder on that front.
Yeah, sweet, bro. So obviously, you've got a really, really good background in the game yourself. You are really knowledgeable. You came into the program in a pretty good spot already on social media. Talk to me about kind of what you were doing on social media, how many followers you had, stuff like that before you joined the program.
So I had about 10,000, I think, on Instagram. I had about 16 or 17K on YouTube. I think around 11 or 12 on TikTok. So I had a pretty good base understanding of how to make videos, how to go about posting. And I knew how to get viral videos. Like at one point I was averaging about 15 to 30,000 views a post. I'd post about 10 videos a day and get 100,000 views a day. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, I didn't really understand yet how to do that. But I didn't know how to market towards a specific niche person or someone to go after when it comes to like selling. So I had a broad, like open spectrum about like the open fishnet about trying to tunnel people down this tunnel, trying to get them marketed more towards who you could help yourself rather than a whole broad spectrum of baseball. I had to market it down to a few people that like I knew I could target: short people, guys that need to throw harder. And then when I joined the program, they kind of helped me understand you need to market to the people that you can help instead of opening up to everyone. So I had the big fishnet and I just closed it down a little bit. And that's when the sales started to pick up and people started to follow me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's super interesting because, oftentimes people that have a good amount of followers on social media and maybe are already trying to do online training, they don't really, I don't know, maybe see like the point of joining a program like ours. Like for you, what was the biggest reason why you actually wanted to pull the trigger and like, bet on yourself and take the risk to actually join?
Well, I knew I was a pretty hardworking person. I just didn't have a understanding of sales. I didn't have a background of knowing how to sell. I was just someone that like was a hardworking dude. I knew how to get results for clients. I just didn't know how to put it into video form, how to get messages, pretty much people coming in sending me messages on how to work with them. So I knew I could help people. I knew I was a good coach. I knew I was a hardworking person. I just didn't have I didn't have like the understanding of how to do it yet. And I think that seeing other people's success, I know a couple other people in the program that have had great success with you. And it was a no-brainer when I looked at it this way, that if I'm trying to take this serious and trying to be my business, I need to take it serious. So put money into myself, and it's an investment. So that's what I looked at it as.
Yeah, fire, dude. Okay. So you jump into the program, you got a little bit of followers, you're trying to coach online already. What was like, let's say the first 7 to 14 days? I mean, you've obviously had success pretty quickly. Like what was that experience like when you first joined?
So the first 5 days was running down through the modules, understanding what we need to do. I didn't even try to sell for the first 5 days. I just was like, I'm going to start from a blank state, see what I need to focus on. What do I need to go in and adjust? Like, there wasn't a lot of problems. It was just I need to figure out what my person and avatar I need to go after is, understand who that is, deep dive into it, study what they want, how it helps with other people. And then that's when I started making more content driven towards those people. And then the first month I made over $10,000, had about almost 13K collected. So realistically in about 3 weeks time, and really after those first 5 days is when I started to sell, and it started to just pick up that way.
Yeah. It's crazy, dude. Did you expect coming into the program that you would have the results as quickly as you did?
Yes and no. I knew I was going to make my money back because I just had that belief, but I didn't think it was going to be that quickly. I didn't think in the first month it was possible. I remember you told me if I'm not making 7,000, 6,000 after the first month, that like you're just not good at what you do. I remember you saying that. It's kind of probably how you got me to come on and join, but so like it's honestly opened up so many doors. I was able to quit my job that I was at before, focus on this full time, dive headfirst into this thing, and it really on the back end showed itself.
Yeah. Well, thanks for trusting me because I meant it when I said it.
Yeah, no, it was kind of hard to trust that side of it because I'm diving into headfirst into something I've never done before. It's a new thing, but like I said before, I knew that it was something I really wanted to do and something that if I'm going to be professional at what I want to do, why not learn from someone that's done it successful like yourself? And you already have done it before. So if you have the guidance and understanding of how to do it, and someone like myself that already has the hard work, already makes videos, why not invest into something that can pay you back 10 times more?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Okay, so obviously, like you have the work ethic, you have the background, you're posting already, you figure out who you're going after. Like tactically, for somebody out there watching, like what specifically were like the biggest lessons that you learned that you believe made the biggest impact on the results you've been able to accomplish?
Biggest was like, what was that again?
Like, what were the biggest lessons you learned that made the biggest impact towards like making 25 grand in less than 2 months?
I think it's understanding that you can really do better than what you think you can do. And people will pay for expertise and knowledge out there. I had that limiting belief that like, there's no way someone's going to pay $2,000, $3,000 for a program where now I'm getting that on one call, like paid in full. I didn't think that it was possible, especially like working in person for a couple $100 a month. I didn't think there's no way someone online is going to trust you and be able to be like, hey, I'm going to pay this guy, a stranger online, money to work with you. So like that was something I've learned that they will pay for that. If you're good at what you do and you can prove it and you can back yourself up with results, that's what I've learned.
Yeah, 100%. Awesome. Okay. And you said you targeted down a lot more who you wanted to go after in your content. Is there something specifically, like, was there a moment that like just kind of clicked in your head, like, aha, like, okay, this makes sense now?
I think because I was so broad before, I'd make like videos about like college baseball or just high school baseball. Like it was just broad videos about like even hitters. It wasn't about like just pitching specifically. And like I knew I could get those views and stuff, but like it was after I had like a video I made about helping a high school age kid throw harder. I had like 50 comments about, I said, hey, comment the word velo to reach out to see if you're a good fit for my program. I had a video blow up with like 50 comments. And then people were in my messages about, hey, can you help me? Can you help me with this? I said, you want to get on a call? 10 calls booked from one video. I'm like, okay, this one video did 50 calls for me, or 10 calls for me. I meant, what do I need to do to replicate this? And then that's when I started to pick up on patterns about, okay, this can actually work. Let's make more content around this in different ways. You don't have to copy the same exact thing, but you have to go in and try to make a new way about getting people to come in a different way, if that makes sense.
100%. 100%. You know, I think it's super cool listening to you talk about content because you obviously are like a great content creator. Like, how do you feel like the skills of creating content translated to being able to quickly monetize?
I think it kind of, honestly, if you can learn the ability to make like video views, so to speak, or get people to watch you, Honestly, I feel like that was harder than selling to people because realistically, the sales happen in the content they're watching. They're watching everything you make on the front end of it. So I feel like understanding how to get the views, like what works, what doesn't work. Sometimes I was posting 15 times a day, studying what does work, what gets views, and you start to pick up on patterns. Okay, this works, that doesn't, this does. And understanding like, hey, you can get people to watch for longer by doing this little thing or that little thing. That's kind of opened up that way.
Yeah. So you've really put in your time to learn the content game.
I think I've made over 2,500 videos on YouTube from like shorts. I think across all my platforms, I've probably made over 7,000 videos.
That's insane.
So like, it's not like I'm not trying to say like I'm good at what I'm do, but like when you do stuff 7,000 times over again, eventually something's going to figure out, and you're going to pick up on patterns. Same thing with mechanics, and I tell my clients that I work with that like if you do the same things, you pick up on patterns on things, you're going to fail. Expect to fail. But if you can adjust from that, the guys that make the quicker adjustments are the ones that are successful.
100%. I think it couldn't have been said any better, bro.
Yeah, and it's like that in every part of baseball, sports, any sport you talk to. It's the guys that make the quick adjustments are successful.
100%. 100%.
Mhm.
Okay. So obviously we talked about, the results you've gotten in the program. Do you think there's anything else that you've gotten out of the program that, outside of maybe quitting your job, making 25,000, like anything outside of that is like noteworthy for you in terms of like
I do like the community aspect of things. I wish I could have made the last in-person event. I wasn't able to make that, but I do want to end up meeting you guys in person. I think that's a really good thing to see that other people, not everyone is successful, and even guys that are successful in the business, we kind of like share what we're doing. So like it's easier to go about and see like, hey, like what is working with this, what isn't working. I'm not saying like I didn't mean that part of like the not successful, but like I think it's important to share those things that aren't working as well so that we can get rid of that bad stuff. And if everyone is sharing things, like I remember I asked a question about what type of phone should I get, what type of computer should I get, what worked, what didn't. I had like 15 messages within like an hour or two, and it helped me get like a piece of equipment like this. So something like that like when I reach out to other creators that seen what has worked and what hasn't, I think everyone truly cares to help other people, and that's a very undervalued thing. That when people like, oh, why should I care about a community? I think a community can help you, like-minded people at what you do. It's important to find people you know. It's not about who you are; it's who you know as well. When it comes to this space,
yeah, 100%.
there's people that've done it make close to 100,000 a month. So, like, why wouldn't you learn from people like that?
Yeah, 100%. And so, like, obviously, you're talking about the community. Like, who would you say the program is for then?
Anyone that I feel like if anyone that has a base understanding of how to make videos, that has a basic understanding of CapCut, that knows how to help people get results, I think that's for them. If you are really good at what you do and you can teach, you can coach really good, even if you're a player and you don't think you can coach yet, there's someone out there that wants to learn from you. So if you have something that someone else wants or something that someone looks up to, this program's for you.
Yeah, fire, dude.
And all you really need to do is learn the basics of editing. You got to post a lot, yeah, and you learn from there. Hey, like what works, what doesn't. And then you go from there.
Fire. Okay. And I guess if you could describe the program to like a stranger, right? How would you describe it?
I think it's a community of people that coach together online, and we bounce ideas off each other. It's like a massive group chat of friends that bounce ideas off each other. You get personalized coaching as well in there. But I think it's just a huge community of people that are successful at what we're trying to do online. And from the outside, when you don't have a lot of people that do that, like I don't even know another person like in real life in person that does what I do. It's only really people online you see. Like how often do you see other coaches online or in person? I meant that's not a normal job. So when you can put a bunch of good people at this space together, you get good things out of it, and you start to speed up the process of what works together and what doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said, dude.
Dummy down part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's obviously a lot of aspects and stuff, but no, dude, I just want to say like, thank you for coming on. Is there anything else that you would want to say right now, like while the camera?
For someone, I would say this for someone that if you're contemplating doing it, I would do it. At the end of the day, it's just a little bit of money. I would rather have no regrets on something. I'd rather go all in on something and see if it worked. If it didn't work, it doesn't work. Like it's not going to work for everyone. But if you're contemplating like back and forth between, like I saw the video you made about just jump in the other day, that kind of talked to me too about that. Like I talked to you like for like 6 months about joining this program. I went back and forth about it. Yes, no, yes, no. It was a 6 month thing. Remember, I talked to you before the new year. So like I battled with it, finally jumped in and freaking made the money back within a couple weeks. So it's realistically, if you're battling that, if you're a hardworking person and you trust yourself and you believe in yourself, everything that you're going to need is right there. So if you're someone that feels like you have the product, you can help someone, there, Nick already knows how to help you and his team does.
Yeah.
Gotta trust it.
Well, Justin, I appreciate you coming on, dude. I want to say, like, number one, thank you for actually like trusting us and taking action on what we say and trusting the process throughout. It's very clear that this is just the beginning for you, and I'm excited to see where this journey takes you.
So. Yeah, thank you again for trusting me and not giving up on selling to me as well too, because you could have just moved on from me as well and kicked me to the side and not had me in here as well. So I want to say thank you for going after me as well and not giving up on that end. So
yeah, well, I would have been doing you a disservice if I did.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, I appreciate you jumping on real quick. Actually, just in case people think you might be AI, how can people find you?
Justin Jones is my @ on Instagram, JESTIN Jones. So it is an E instead of a U. It's Justin. It's a little bit different. Same thing on TikTok and YouTube. So those are my @. Not AI, so you can see. Yeah.
Well, amazing, dude. Thanks for jumping on.
Thank you for having me again.
And if you're a coach watching this and you haven't jumped in our program yet, what are you doing? Book call with us. Anyway, Justin, appreciate you, man.
Thank you.